Every AI agent passed its review. Every dashboard is green. The business is still operating beyond its risk appetite. Imagine 12 agents running sales, refunds, procurement, onboarding, compliance, and support. Each agent stays inside its own transaction limit. Each has an approval path, budget, and error threshold. Then a product launch triples demand. One agent offers discounts, another accelerates refunds, another expands credit, and another sends sensitive documents to a human queue. No single control fires. Together, they expose more money, customers, regulated data, and human review capacity than the business agreed to risk. This is not a defective agent. It is portfolio risk. Local safety checks ask whether one system is inside its boundary. Portfolio risk asks whether all autonomous decisions, at the same time, are inside the enterprise boundary. Systemic risk showed how shared dependencies can break many services. Portfolio risk asks how many individually acceptable agents can create an unacceptable aggregate exposure. Build that autopilot in 6 parts. First, define risk appetite in business units, not adjectives. Replace low, medium, and high with numbers: maximum autonomous dollars per hour, customers affected before human review, sensitive records exposed, irreversible actions, open exceptions, and tolerated time outside policy. Set separate limits for normal, stressed, and emergency operation. Second, classify every agent by criticality and action type. A drafting assistant, a refund agent, and an identity remediation agent should not consume the same control budget. Score financial impact, customer harm, data sensitivity, reversibility, legal obligation, and speed. The highest class gets tighter permissions, smaller limits, slower rollout, and more independent oversight. Third, aggregate exposure across workflows. Add the limits and live usage for agents that can touch the same customer, account, balance sheet, data domain, or reviewer pool. Correlation matters. 10 agents with a $1,000 limit are not 10 isolated risks when one campaign can activate all 10 at once. Fourth, allocate exposure budgets and reserve headroom. Give each business lane a share of the enterprise appetite, then hold a buffer for spikes, incidents, and new deployments. Budgets should cover money, action volume, human review capacity, data access, and change velocity. When one lane consumes more, another cannot pretend the capacity is still available. Fifth, put gates on deployment and runtime growth. A new agent, tool, permission, model change, or traffic increase must show where its exposure budget comes from. If no headroom exists, reduce autonomy, shrink scope, require approval, or retire another risk. At runtime, throttle, queue, degrade, or hand off before the portfolio crosses the limit. Sixth, stress the portfolio, not only the components. Simulate a launch spike, policy change, vendor slowdown, model drift, and shortage of reviewers at the same time. Measure aggregate loss, customer impact, sensitive actions, queue age, and time beyond appetite. Capture the evidence, reallocate budgets, and repeat until the limits hold under pressure. That is the AI Agent Portfolio Risk Autopilot. Define appetite, tier criticality, aggregate exposure, allocate budgets, gate deployment, and runtime growth, then stress the portfolio. A safe agent is not enough. The business must keep every agent, together, inside one provable boundary.